Panthers for Charlotte vibe, aka man of the people. Even though you guys may be like wanting to beat me up, say, Chris, go get answers. And I tell you, I can ask questions, but I cannot make them give us the answers that we want or make them do things like, fire the head coach. I'm sorry, fire their owner or head coach for that matter. But hey, this show is live 1,000% for the reason of interacting with you guys. So we said it, we mean it. We are your friends in the media. I want you all to be comfortable coming on the show each and every time we go live, but certainly on the day after shows that we do, because we want to hear, whether you want to say the pulse of Panther Nation, your heartbeat, the fans, we want to give you a voice. So hopefully you'll come on the show. And then last but not least, do me a favor, like the video. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers. We continue to do cool stuff as an independent media. Our numbers really help us to do things like have those player and coaches interviews. So hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already subscribed. And also, we normally give away stuff every single week. We're not stopping that, but I just got a little behind the 8 ball today, so I don't have the links ready. But I promise you, starting tomorrow, we will have that back up, and you'll be able to register to win free stuff. Now, you said my audio's low? Okay, no worries. Andre, I'm going to beat him up. He didn't tell me, but I can't hear him yet, so that's probably why he didn't tell me. How about a mic check right now on my audio? Tell me if it's good, and once you guys tell me that, then I will continue on with the show. All right, let's see. Man of the people. So as I'm waiting to make sure my audio is good, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to give you a little behind-the-scenes sneak peek at why I still get to earn the title man of the people, even though I can't make the coaches say what you want them to say. Let's look at my life a little bit yesterday. Oh, what am I doing? There I am, alone on the field, talking to you guys, pregame show. This looks like pregame stuff. That's postgame. My shirt's untucked, so I won't show you all of that, but here's proof. I was in the building. Yep, there we go. Got the jacket on. Look at that wedding ring. A guy probably displays that wedding ring because he is now married. And let's show you how dedicated I am for these shows. Look at this. Who is around? Nobody but your boy. So that's why you guys, I call myself man of the people. Andre Cassiday's part of that team. Patrick Snyder's part of that team. We are here to work for you and get you the answers that you want. Let me get all this stuff off the screen now. And then when I do, have they said they can hear me better yet? Willie Smith said that he can hear me.
I think it's an all clear on your end. Now I just wonder if people can hear me. That was the the issue yesterday. But let me just say this, Chris, too, by the way. You looked sharp as can be yesterday. Those pictures look clean. I am seeing them on my end right now for the first time. My man looking pretty sharp down there, or well, really up there in Detroit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I did my best, and shouts out to Patrick Snyder for giving me those such great photos. And this one right here, let me see if I can get this one back. Oh, that's not a good one. Let's just go one more for the heck of it since you gave me the prop. Look at that guy.
Right.
Happily working at Ford Field. You can't tell by the look of his face that his team is losing every single week. But, if I do my job, you're not supposed to be able to tell. What do we want them to do on this show, Andre?
Oh, we want them to, first of all, let's go into it. We need all of you to like this video as much as humanly possible. Leave those comments in the comments section. And hey, I have that linked pinned in the description and in the comments section for all of you to hop on and make your voices heard. This is why we are live, because we want to hear from you. And if you haven't already as well, hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. This is why we do it. For Chris to have those opportunities to be in Detroit and to work on the behalf of all of you, for all of the team. This is what we do. This is what we love doing, and it's all for covering the team that we love, but to also have you guys covered on your end as well. So show us some love tonight. Be active tonight, because we want to hear all of you out there what your thoughts are on this Carolina Panther team.
Call into the show. Call in. Phone, tablet, I don't know if iPhones can do it. I don't think they have cameras on them, but anything that has an internet connection on the phone, click on that link. Come on. So until you guys do so, we are going to go ahead and get started. We don't have an agenda because we want to just answer the questions from you guys. I heard a beep there, but that wasn't somebody coming in. Yep, they said my audio's good now. So let's go ahead and touch on a few of these comments. Nah, the Cam Newton curse is real. Both us and the Patriots are feeling it. Well, I mean, we could take the curse because he did take us to the Super Bowl. You can't put the curse on the Patriots because he really did not do anything great in that one season that he was up there. So curse the Panthers. Okay, I'll take that one. Patriots, nah. But he might be happy that I don't even think he's happy. He was only there for 1 year, right? How do you think he felt about yesterday?
Yeah, he was there for 1 year, and I mean, with the Patriots, they have really fallen off since Tom Brady has left. And whether you want to call it a curse or not, there has definitely been a noticeable decline in not only the Patriots play, but in the Panthers play since his departure in both of those locales.
So I just got this comment, and I got to fact check this really quickly before I comment on it. And if it's true, then I'll be beyond surprised. Let's see. I'm gonna check this. I don't know if you see that comment in the comments.
Not yet.
Let me see. I really don't think it is true. Huh. All right. Here you go.
Do we have a verse?
We have. I need to get some more sound effects. We do have some new sound effects that we will be unveiling tonight. Let's just go ahead and use this new sound effect for the heck of it. Here we go. Breaking news.
Oh, I gotta hear this.
Danger. Danger.
Ooh. That
The
just wakes you up right there.
Buffalo Bills have signed former All-Pro cornerback Josh Norman to their practice squad. I'll repeat that. The Buffalo Bills have signed the former All-Pro cornerback Josh Norman to their practice squad. He last played for the Bills in 2020, and he also last played for the Carolina Panthers in 2022.
And Chris, how old is Josh Norman? He's getting up there. He's getting quite up there.
I'm trying to think of how to say this. I would be surprised if Josh is in shape to play football. I really, really would. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how much I can say without saying what I don't want to say. But I'd just be surprised if Josh Norman is in football shape at this point. But I will say this. I guess the Bills did it as safely as they could. You know, when you get signed to the practice squad, you're making, I forget, maybe 10 grand a week that you'll get, maybe up to 15 grand per week.
Hey, so that's more than us.
It's more than us, but in terms of like
quite lucrative,
giving this guy $1 million or two, whatever the veteran minimum is, to see if it works out. You know, you're gonna have to give him time to get in shape. Practice squad is a good, cheap way to try to see if it works. And wow, I'm surprised that he did it. But nevertheless, Matt Chatter, thank you for that breaking news, because I wasn't aware of it. I may try to get Josh on the show, even though he's not a Bill, and say, Josh, just tell me what's going on, man. Like, congratulations to you. I ain't mad at you. So again, we're gonna go through these chats and give you guys a chance to get things up. Actually, I think I'm up to date already. Allie Broderick says, welcome back. Nice to see how sharp you were dressed during the blowout. Yeah, you guys want to see that? I won't show the picture every 5 minutes, but I did feel good. I can't lie. I felt good yesterday.
Hey, you got to dress to impress, especially after a performance like Carolina put up yesterday. You gotta accentuate the positives, and That was one of the positives from yesterday's activities, if you will.
My dress?
Yes, absolutely. That's definitely a highlight. That's probably one of the things I will remember from yesterday's game. How badly they played and how well the man of the people dressed in Detroit.
Hey, you want to know
Put
what I
that
did
on
in
there.
Detroit? Yeah, I'll have some fun, and then we're really gonna get into it, right? So I'm going through every hurdle to do the show and get up to the press box, and when I get there, they show me. She's like, "Which press box?" And I was like, "Hmm." Like I've never known media to have a choice. Which press box? Are you serious? Um, and she said, "Yeah, just put your stuff down, and I'll show you both press boxes." And I think there's no way that I have a choice over which press box that I sit in. But okay, I'll leave my stuff. So she took me down a hallway, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not supposed to be in this hallway." I mean, it was a press hallway, but for those who do not know, in the media press box area, they have what's basically like a general seating for the media, which is good. It ain't bad at all. And then they have like suite level press box for people that are doing like broadcast or radio. That's, different because they need quiet and, they're doing broadcast. That's basically where she took me. And then she showed me the other side, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. But then she said this. She was like, you can get food from either side. I said, oh, I can? She said, yeah, you just get food from either side. So I was like, okay. Looked on our side. That looks like rather instant food. Food over there was like some chicken fingers, some potatoes. so I went over to the other side, and I'm like, I'm dressed good, so hey, I'm gonna own it. And
Look part.
yeah, so basically, as I was putting several chicken fingers on my plate, somebody finally came to me and said, "Who are you with?" I'm like, "I'm with the Charlotte media." Like, oh, well, this is not for you. I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop putting these food on my plate and go to the other side. Never done anything like that. Probably won't do it again. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. Listen, call into the show. Please, please, please call into the show. Tell a friend to call into the show. I don't care if you just have one comment to say, Chris, you're silly. Andre, you're the funniest guy ever. I don't care. We want to interact and meet with you guys. Let me go ahead and get into what I want to rant about. Give these guys, everybody a chance to get on and join us tonight. Anybody want to guess what I want to rant at? I'm going to tell you. I want to rant at the daggone play calling. I don't like it. I don't know how much longer that Frank's going to get away. Well, I do have an idea. Okay. He's not going to get fired tomorrow. He's not going to get fired if they lose against Miami. He's not going to get fired for a while unless they're like 0-10 and people are just, all these reports are coming out about how nobody cares and likes. So he's not going to get fired. Okay. But I wish somebody would light a fire under them about this. Week 5, let me just show you. Here we go. Drag and drop. Bingo. Let's look at this
Boom.
daggone pass chart for the Carolina Panthers. Now, my gripe last week was this. They did not throw the ball not one time deeper than 20 yards. And why did they not do that? Well, we don't want to risk anything. We don't want to try to get it if it's not there. I know 2 weeks ago, seems like 2 games, but 2 weeks ago was still 1 game ago. Thomas Brown's like, we got to try to connect deep. So, no, it was 2 weeks ago. So last week when they played Minnesota, nothing. 0. And I'm like, okay, what gives? Yesterday in Detroit. Here's a chart. Again, look at it. He finally did go 20 yards. He went 20 yards once on a completion, 20 yards once on an incompletion. So those were 2 at 20 yards. And then, the play calling was different. So that's kind of something that gets you conflicted a little bit when you're looking at things for this team. They did try different stuff yesterday. So there's credit there. But then they took steps. It's like they took steps forward in one department and they took steps back in the other department. But you're not giving this guy, like, why can't he throw the ball deep? To me, second week in a row, finally he hits right at 20. Who is in that room or who is it in that building that's saying, well, let's not run deep routes to give right? Like, he can't throw that far. Or if he throws, like, what is the concern over letting this guy throw the ball deep? Because they already have said that they don't mind if he makes mistakes. I clearly remember in training camp, we're okay with mistakes. He's a rookie. Okay, so we're okay with mistakes, and he's a rookie, and we're gonna be patient. What's the concern? Because he still threw 2 picks yesterday. So I'm gonna let not dominate things too much here, even though I'm passionate about this. Let me show you one other thing about this, and we'll keep it moving. My man Adam Thielen. So he is our top receiver. He had 13 targets, 11 receptions, had over 100 yards. Look at his route tree. So for those that are maybe looking at this for the first time, the white is him just running the route. And when it turns green, that's him catching the ball and then running afterwards, okay? Blue line is a line of scrimmage and et cetera. But you can see there's a bunch of stuff to the left, which is fine. I'm not even caring if there's tendencies of going left or right. I don't care. But how many times did he run a route that was 20 yards? He didn't run one. And you can say, well, Adam Thielen's not that guy to run deep. Well, okay, they don't put these charts out there for every single player. They only put it out there for the top player. And, you know, so if you want to see chart, I can't show you chart, but to me, it still tells a story. So again, I'll put this up. It's just let the guy have an opportunity to really win a game. Let the guy start to play where the defense does, can actually maybe backpedal at the beginning because they don't know what they're going to do. But we're so predictable, and to be predictable, and you have a rookie, and you have players that have been playing in this league for 5, 10 years. You have coaches that have been coaching for 10, 20. It's going to be very difficult for him to succeed. His stats are actually not that bad, but you're just not giving him a lot. So that's my rant. I know Andre wants to rant on that, but I'm not going to let you because I want to move along. We're going to have to take turns ranting on things. And
Right.
I'm going to give this to you, Andre. So I'm going to go to this comment here. I'm going to play a video, and then,
Okay.
Andre, I'm going to toss it to you. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Don't be afraid to hit that button. It's a link in the description, and it's also pinned in the comments. So let's look at this. Chance Hines. I am not impressed with Frank. How do you forget about Terrace Marshall Jr.? You know what? Good question. How do you forget about Terrace Marshall Jr.? So, for those who may not be familiar with what happened today, Coach Frank Wright was asked about the fact that Terrace Marshall Jr., and I'm not saying he's a superstar, but he played well last week. He had a lot of targets. He had a lot of catches. But he didn't get not one snap yesterday. He was active. He did not get not one snap yesterday. So let me play this for you. Hopefully I got the right one. If not, I'll quickly get the right one up.
The thing that was most frustrating is the 6 pre-snap penalties.
So that's not it. Let me try to quickly get it up here. You can start the comment if you want, Andre, on his Terrace Marshall. Don't give it away what he said yet.
Yeah, for one person, or for the one healthy person that was in that game yesterday to not have a single snap, and he'll talk about that here when we play it, it's mind-blowing. It's quite mind-blowing and kind of just malpractice, if you will, but I'll hold my fire here as he
Fire
goes
away.
into.
Fire away. Like, how could you? So last week, it was Adam Thielen. Oh, the play was for Adam Thielen. I didn't know he was not out there. This is not like week 1. This is not preseason. This is week 5. So week 4, we forgot about Adam Thielen, that he got hurt. Week 5, we forget that Terrace Marshall Jr., I got it up now. Let me just play it.
That he should have played. He should have played some. So I wish he had gotten it.
So what I'm playing for you is the clip of a professional NFL coach that has a 4-year contract for tens of millions of dollars that's been a head coach before. This is not his first time. He's been in the league forever. This is his response to, hey, why did Terrace Marshall not get any snaps yesterday?
A little bit more. That's my fault. I need to make sure that he should have played. He should have played some. So I wish he had gotten in there a little bit more. That's my fault. I need to make sure. After the week he had the week before with the 9 catches and got a little momentum going, and he and I had a conversation, and so that was poor communication by me. I wanted to make sure that our guys knew to kind of make sure he had some playing time, and that there would be opportunities. So that was my fault.
How does that happen during the flow of a game? Do you lose track of it, or what happens?
Yes, I did. I did not do a good job of telling our coaches, hey, this is what I would like to see. And it just defaulted to what we were doing before he got hurt, which that's normal, right? That's normal. Okay, hey, he's back, so now let's go back to where we were going. But I thought Terrace had done enough, that, hey, let's not just go back to exactly how we were doing this before. He should get some play time.
Go!
I mean, okay, let me make 2 points here. The first point being, hey, I respect the bluntness. I respect the honesty on the behalf of Coach Wright. He honed it. He made a mistake, and, he was very direct in that. But the second point that I'm going to make here is, how can that happen on consecutive weeks? How can that happen? I mean, he had a pretty respectable game last week, 9 catches for about 50 yards. He was quite involved in what Carolina was doing last week. And to simply not have any room for him, no snaps in yesterday's game, and not one person seemed to bat an eye and say, hey, why is Terrace Marshall on the bench? Can we, get him some action here? I mean, he definitely had to be a part of their game plan in preparation for yesterday's game. You would think, right? Obviously, Jonathan Mingo back in the lineup after suffering a concussion, so definitely there was going to be some sharing of those snaps because he was back in there in the mix. But to simply not have Marshall in there, a guy who's, again, trying to prove himself in his 3rd season, and to not have any playing time whatsoever, Coach Reich didn't notice. Did Thomas Brown not notice? Did anybody else on that staff not notice? At the end of the first half, some adjustments, and nobody noticed that he did not have a single snap, not only in the first half, the entire game? I mean, it's just mind-blowing to me that you have guys who, again, are considered all-star caliber coaching, and they have all this experience, and stuff like this, these little things like this that are happening, continue to happen. I digress. But, yeah, it's mind-blowing to me how that all unfolded.
I got a visual reference for you. So, yeah, after the game, walking off, towel on the head, Terrace Marshall.
Yep.
Not one stinking snap. And he had 9 catches last week. I'm not saying he lit it up and needs to be all of a sudden like Mr. Go-To. I still feel like he has things to work on. But, yeah, he certainly feel like a snap. But I'm going to respect the process. I want to get through a lot of these comments. We want to hear from you. Everybody's been a chicken. Yeah, I'm calling you chickens. Come on the show. Let us. I know people are upset. You got some comments and things that they want to say. So we're here for you. We'll still be here until you guys get enough courage to come on. Let's go with Chance Hines. So how does everyone think about the coaching staff, and what is up with Sanders? Have we been took with him? So I'll touch on that one.
Okay.
What do we think of the coaching staff? I think that there's a problem. Actually, I know there is a problem. I don't know what it is. I don't know how exactly it's working. But I know there is a problem because there is no way that you should have this coaching staff that's like so great that they're like, ah, yeah, we messed up. That's cool. We'll get them next week. Tom Capers. Oh yeah, it's all right. We'll get our check. It's no like that. I'm pretty sure that's not how it's going, and I'm pretty sure that they're all smart enough to where somebody sees something where they're like, hey, we gotta fix X, Y, Z. Whether it's offense, defense, line, special. Like they all have opinions. I know they're not all just sitting there at the table. So that's why I say there's absolutely a problem, and the problem could just be like maybe they don't know how to do the meet in the middle. Maybe they, even though there's a hierarchy, I mean, this coaching staff, when they talk, you feel like they would understand that the hierarchy, such as, coaches say all the time, hey, we want to hear from players, we want their feedback, but they need to also understand like they're not in charge. The final decision comes from the coach. They've said stuff like that to the media. So I just can't imagine how that. It just baffles me that this kind of product could be coming out of this. And then what Andre just talked about there was how in the world did nobody from the player, Terrace Marshall Jr. himself, not say anything? I mean, I never played at the highest level, so I'm not going to claim to know everything that goes on. But at the level I played a year in college, but I just cannot imagine that you want to play and you're a starter and you're just not going to say a word to anybody, not even your position coach during the game, and say, hey, you going to get me in? Next set? Like, for that, not anyway. So I want to keep going through things. Chance, I appreciate the question. I know, Andre, you want to jump in, but we're going to try to go through many, and we'll use some time at the end for some stuff for us. Let's see. Next one. And Andre, tell me if you see a member come through
I
first.
have not yet. From what I see on my end, I have not seen any members yet. So let me plug this too as well, since we're at it here. You have a chance to become a member of this channel. There is a link in the description down below, or you have the opportunity to be and join as a member, and you have the opportunity to not only have this special badge that's going to be right by your username, but you also get quite a bit of exclusives. And not only that, but you will always be shouted out, and you will always jump the line whenever you do leave a comment. And yeah, so it's a pretty unique thing to have, and that also gives us the opportunity to help us grow and build our audience as well. So definitely consider joining as a member of this channel as well.
Well said. So Panthers Ed said, is this the bottom? I feel like we can only go up, glass half full guy, but I mean, I feel like there's a very slow improvement offensively at least. So I'm going to make it super, super quick. I promise, Andre.
It's all good.
Do the Carolina Panthers really have it the worst? Like, we have the worst record, but I kind of wonder, like, are the Denver Broncos actually having it the worst? They got one win, but they're just Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, lots of money, and they're just getting blown out. But take it away.
Hey, don't forget about the New York Giants as well and how they started out their season. I mean, it's been quite an interesting show up there. At least with us, we haven't been. Well, yesterday was kind of a blowout, right? Like, we can be frank about that. But in the other 4 games, it's been relatively competitive. The only thing that's been killing us is ourselves. So it does feel like we're there, but I don't think this is the worst that things have been for the team. It does have the potential to, though, if things don't straighten up and tighten up. But we're not there yet, but we're approaching that territory.
Okay. This comment, Matt Chudd, I'm not really sure of this comment. You said, other than you or our dynamic duo heroes, is there any other Charlotte media there? I'm not sure if that's
that
being...
other press box, I guess, that you went to the first time. I guess.
I'm not sure if he's being facetious or sarcastic or what there, but because there's certainly other there, because I don't even go to a lot of the press conferences anymore. But appreciate the comment. Let me go back to this one that I wanted to share here with you. Who sets the identity for the team? Well, It's the coaches. They're the leaders. They're the ultimate leaders. The coaches. It start with the coaches. They set the identity. They give the marching orders, if you will, to their assistant coaches, their coordinators, and then the position coaches. And everybody, it cascades down from what Coach Frank Wright wants it to be and goes from there. He collaborates with them. So by far, it's the coaches that are supposed to do it. And, honestly, this is just the job in the NFL. If there's no identity yet, then the coaches have not yet done their job, right? Whether it's, they don't have the players that can do it. Okay, well then coaches do your job, GM do your job, get the players in here that can do it so that you can have your identity. So if you don't have the identity, there's definitely going to be some issues. Appreciate the comment there, Willie Smith. I'm going to keep trying to go through these. I kind of backtracked by mistake there.
Ooh. Do you see AJ Marshall's?
Oh, you must have read my mind. I just put it up there. We get play calling get worse each week.
I would say no. In the short answer, just because for one, I think Bryce Young did have a relatively solid performance. Rather than those 2 interceptions that he threw, I think this was probably his best game that he has played so far. Now, let's add some context to it because they were down quite a bit in the fourth quarter, so it was kind of garbage time, and the defense was playing soft. So there's definitely some yardage to be gained there. But when we touch on the play calling, and the question deserves to be asked, the trends that we still are seeing with the offense is there are no deep shots being taken down the field. Bryce Young's longest completed pass of the game yesterday was 30 yards, which happens to be the longest pass that he has completed this whole season. So just think about that for a second. It just shows you, just based off of those numbers, how limited the offense feels. And they keep saying, hey, we don't want to open up the playbook, or either they don't say it or they say it, but the actions speak for it. They don't want to open up the playbook because they don't want to make mistakes, right? But when you keep throwing screen passes to Ian Thomas, those mistakes are going to be there because the defense knows that you are throwing screen passes, and it's well documented in the tape, and it's very predictable, and the Lions were able to pick up on that. So you have to have that give and take there. At some point, you have to live with the mistakes, but you also have to open it up for Bryce and the offense.
Yeah, this is, to me, worse than Riverboat Ron, because I don't think that he was. I don't remember clearly, but it was just like 4th and something, and you're close, and he'd go and kick a field goal, and they were losing some close games. So it's like, hey man, we need to try to keep the ball going so we can get close and actually score. But outside of that, offensively, you felt, I think, basically fine. But with this one, it's tough. But I want to keep us moving along, so I got to keep telling myself to move along so we can go through a lot of stuff. So we're going to continue to move along.
Right.
Hey, AJ Marshall, thank you very, very much.
It's a
B
good
Stallion.
question.
Hey, Chris and Andre, leadership hyped up the quarterback and over-exaggerated what to expect. This is a full rebuild, more like 3 to 5 years before having sustained success. No more than 3 wins at best. My, it's funny that you say
Ooh-wee.
that. I got a clip just to address that for you, sir, and here it is.
Well, I'm not calling it a rebuild. I'm not calling it a rebuild. Actually, let me say it this way. I think everything is always building, right? I think, we probably all would agree with that. Like, we're always building. We're always building. Are we doing it? Yes, now, but we're always building. And so I'm really comfortable with that. I think players understand that. We understand that as coaches. So you just want to see some fruit of your labor a little bit earlier than we're seeing it right now. I'm confident we're doing it the right way with the right people. We just need a little bit more evidence, a little bit more fruit right now to get things going.
Go ahead, Cassidy.
So this sounds like a more cleaned up version of what Matt Rule said a couple years back when he talked about Jay-Z taking 7 years to become a platinum artist, whatever the quote was. But you get what I'm trying to say. Uh, it's a results-driven business, right? And the Panthers have not delivered so far. So he's had conversations with Dave Tepper, obviously because they have not delivered on any of their expectations so far. And it's interesting that they are being careful with how they are characterizing this season up to this point, because if things go south, then you have no choice but to characterize it as a rebuild season because,
If things go south at 0-5,
hey, I mean, it's not looking promising right now. I mean, after Miami, you do have 3 winnable games, but we're here in the now, and it's looking difficult. And you can even see it in how he answered that question. He was trying to walk that fine line of, hey, we're trying to be competitive, but we're also not trying to give away that idea of, you know, rebuilding and this season's a put away season, yada, yada, yada. But ultimately speaking, nobody anticipated Carolina being 0-5. Nobody anticipated Bryce Young to play this bad. Nobody anticipated Frank Reich to be this disappointing of a hire. So definitely the heat is building, and deservedly so, from not only the media and the fans, because, Chris, I guarantee you, if I told you back in August when we were starting this thing back up again, that if we were 0-5 to start out the year, you would literally slap me in the face, because that would be the biggest joke I would have told to you at that time. But sure enough, it's turning out to be the case.
yeah, you're right. I was on the I won't say bandwagon, but I was on the side of saying this team is not making the playoffs. I felt that from the beginning, but I did not feel
Right.
like after 5 weeks it would be, I don't know if we're
This bad.
mathematically eliminated, but for all intents and purposes, you're out of the playoffs after 5 weeks. There's very little optimism that you could have that we will, go on a 12-game winning streak and finish the season 12 and
Hey,
5.
there's a first for everything, but I don't have too much confidence in that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Let me run through some more comments. The Mad Chatter says, Chark, get open deep. He can get open deep. He does it every single week, but if he's not set on a route to run deep, then he's not going to get open deep. He just might get open on a little shorter pass. Look at there, my camera went out. I'll fix that in a
Uh-oh.
second, change my angle. But meanwhile, we'll keep it rolling. And then Matt says he doesn't speak to them, he speaks for the people. I'm not exactly sure if they're talking about me going into the press conference or something, so I'm not 100% clear on some of these comments. But I gotta put this one up there. My man C Dog says, hit the like button. It's free.
Hey,
Doesn't cost you anything. Helps other Panther fans find out about us. We really appreciate it. If you could just get into the habit of doing it every single time, we need it. Please hit the like button. Thank you for that reminder, C Dog. And I like this one here. Willie Smith said, maybe Frank Wright believes this is a 17-game preseason.
oh boy, it certainly feels that way. And look, we have not won a game in this calendar year for this season, right? We're currently 0-8, 0-3 in the preseason, 0-5 to start out the regular season. So
So
you
you
do
do
feel
feel
like
like
there's a lack of urgency that you get that sense of feeling right now, uh, just based off of the vibe that we're getting from Coach Reich and everything. But yeah, it's a little concerning that we're still in week 5, moving into week 6, and seemingly there doesn't feel like there's a change that's happening within the team to try to build some wins and get to actually winning a football game. So it's something that again concerns me, and they got to get on it here. They got to start showing some results relatively quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get through some comments before I tell you some other stuff, such as when I was at the airport yesterday in Detroit, getting ready to come back to Charlotte. How people for Detroit said, "Hey, when they showed the San Francisco game on the screen and Coach Wilkes was on there, that should be their coach." So it's like, wow, I'm in Detroit. Guys are literally in Detroit Lions jerseys and saying that's who our coach should be, which is Steve Wilkes. That's just crazy. But I want to get to more of your guys' comments, so we're gonna keep going through these.
And let me just say this too, real quick. Let me call out all of you out there. Where are y'all at? That link is in the description. That call-in button is ready to roll. People, let's utilize it. We want to hear from you. Do I have to tick off some people to get some ticked off people on here? Come on, we could definitely get somebody on here because, hey, there's a lot of anger out there, and I want to hear some anger
We want to
on
hear
this
something.
broadcast.
Yeah, look, Matto Lomax said I would have called in, but I'm at work. So okay, there's one person that you've
It's
reached
all
there that
good.
said, yeah, you got to make the money. So we appreciate you at least letting
Respect the
us know
grind.
that you would like to. Hey, Jimmy says, do you all feel like all the collab on the play calling is causing some of the problems? It seems like Bryce only has 15 seconds left on the clock a lot. Drum roll, we don't know who's going to take it. I think it just doesn't make sense to me, all the problems that they're having, right? Because if it's a collaboration problem, why is there no one smart enough to say we need to do something different? Because look how much time we're giving Bryce to be able to call the play with the clock winding down. So yeah, there's something going on there. Like it is. What? I don't know. If I get some inside information, I should say it like that. If I get sources, then I'll let you guys know. But yeah, Jimmy, it's just a problem. Let me. He'll just said just try joining, but the link won't work.
Uh-oh.
Why doesn't it work for you, Hill Joe? It works. I don't know. Restart your phone, restart your computer. Perhaps let me know what didn't work because we really do want you all to come on the show. So please, come on the show. You get to see us all the time. We want to see you guys and interact. It could be a lot of fun. We'll just touch on this. I think Willie got it.
Oh,
Let's
here we
see.
go.
Let's see. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and bring Willie on.
Let's get it.
Willie, you look so happy to be a Carolina Panther fan.
Hey, hey, I'm I'm accepting of what our current status is right now. I had high hopes, but I'm coming to the realization that we may have been sold a bill of we've been sold a bill of goods. Um, my 2 points I want to have to make is that I believe that the the definition of offensive coordinator, the head coach, and the whole mantra of offensive minded head coach. A head coach should be, in my opinion, a person who can bring a coaching staff together, develop a cohesive plan, and allow his assistant coaches to do their job. I am not seeing that with Frank Wright because why would you hire an offensive coordinator and one, either you're not listening to him, or two, you're not going to allow him to make the calls, to make adjustments. Because bottom line, you have to make adjustments throughout the game. You know, you see what the opponent, you know what you plan for what the opponent's going to do, and then when the game starts, you make adjustments for what the opponent is doing. That's 1 point, and then two is you set the identity for the team because our team looks like when they're playing, they don't have the fire, they don't have the drive, the motivation. Like, hey, because when I see other teams out there like Detroit, like Minnesota, they are running around and high fiving each other for another 0-3 game team, but they had the drive and the fire and the motivation, and our team looked flat. So
Hey,
hopefully, that could.
I'll tell you this, being in Detroit yesterday, man, I forget what song it was, but they were playing some song and the Detroit Lions were dancing there. It was before a kickoff. Again, I don't know what quarter it was, but those guys were jumping around and dancing like they literally was about to walk into the club. Like they were going. So I see your point with that. And in terms of when you broke down the offensive coordinator, absolutely he's not listening. I lost the clip, but it was 2 weeks ago, I guess, at this point, that Thomas Brown said we need to improve upon and continue to build on the big plays that we had in Seattle. And how do you say that? How does your offensive coordinator say that? And then you get absolutely no progress toward it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I think maybe we're still running vanilla offensive plays. So that's the reason I said maybe that's the reason why he thinks we're in the preseason for the next 12
Oh man,
games.
I don't think it's vanilla. I think it's just spoiled milk at this point. That's what I'm calling that.
Hey, Willie, thank you so much for coming on, man. Please continue to come on. I hope you enjoy the channel. Let us know what we can do to help get you through this season, all right?
Yeah. I appreciate the content.
Appreciate
you
you,
guys are doing
man.
a great job. It's just refreshing to, get a perspective, Thanks a lot.
All right,
Thanks for being on, man.
we got one more person. We got Chance is waiting in the guest room.
Okay.
We're gonna bring Chance on. Appreciate you, Chance. It's gonna be just 1 second. Let me put up this comment from a man, Tim Estes. Tim says it's looking like the Panthers will be the worst team in NFL history. If something doesn't change, no team has gone 0-17. We're headed that. Now that is true. No team has
That is very true.
gone, because it just started maybe a year ago with the records. I'm gonna try to see if I really quickly still have that audio from Thomas Brown. I don't think that I do. I went ahead and let's see. I think I went ahead and deleted it. So yeah, I don't have it. Let's see. But anyway, let's continue to move on. Tim Estes, appreciate the comment. Let me hit this.
We ain't
magical
going
button.
0-17, Tim. We're not going 0-17. I can just tell you that right now.
Chance, what you got for us? Appreciate you tuning in with us tonight.
Hey, what's going on,
What's
guys?
good?
What's going on, guys?
Just trying to get
So
through
I'm
another
wondering
Monday
if
night.
maybe we have too many good coaches in the system that have too many egos, and they kind of bounce back and forth of what they should be doing. And Frank Wright just kind of doesn't know exactly which one to say yes to. I mean, that's kind of what it's looking like. We hired all these really great coaches, and we're going to be super excited about this team, because we have all these people. And, just like, I don't know if there's too many minds in the field or what's going on, but that's kind of what I'm going on. And, yeah, I really hope we don't break Detroit's record and go 0-17. I'm thinking maybe we might be able to beat the Colts without Richardson, but I'm not sure. And, of course, I'd really love somehow Bryce Young to out throw C.J. Stroud, but I think that's just wishful thinking with this offense going on right now.
Hey, let me ask you this, Chance. So you're saying possibly with the coaching staff that, example, Thomas Brown says we need to throw the ball deep. Frank hears it, but then since he's the play caller, he just ends up disregarding it. You think that could be it?
Well, it's almost like he's protecting Bryce just a little bit too much. I'm just kind of wondering, maybe if we had never hired such big coaches, maybe we would have just like one big guy going, okay, this is what we need to do. And maybe Frank Wright is like the final say in that, no, we got to protect Bryce. We got to protect our offense. We got to go back to, running the ball, stuff like that. And that's just kind of what I've seen,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Did you have anything else for us this evening, I should say?
Oh, not much. I'm always on. It was kind of cool just calling when you said you call in. So, but yeah, like I said, I since you guys started, man, I've been here. So really appreciate it. I know a few Panther fans here in the great state of Minnesota. So I've been liking the button and making sure we try to get you up, get you guys up with those 10,000 subscribers because you guys deserve it. So that's all.
Thank you so much, Chance, for coming on.
Appreciate the love, man.
It's really cool when you, like, I continue to get fascinated by fans and where they are. And I'm really seeing that fans for the Carolina Panthers are all over the place. And that's super cool. And I even today was talking to a supporter for the channel, and they were in Detroit, and they had told me beforehand where they were, and I apologize that I just didn't have a chance to get to them. I said, hey, by the way, where do you live? Because I don't think you live in Charlotte. And they live like closer to Atlanta, Georgia. and they come to Charlotte all
Oh
the time because
wow.
they're Panthers fans. So I think that's just pretty cool. But in terms of something that he just said, gosh darn it, hold on. Oh man, he said something, and I was going to play a clip about it. He was talking about the
Well,
coaches.
with all the experience, yeah, I think that has to play into it because there isn't that like clear like guy that you just turn to because of all those different experience levels and perspectives. And even Coach Reich said it too in the presser, like there was a communication issue with that whole Terrace Marshall situation. So it kind of feeds in
That's
to that
stupid.
narrative. It's plain stupid, though. I mean, you just can't have that happen. That kind of gaffe, if you will, just is inexcusable. And I think Chance does bring up a fairly reasonable point to say, are there just too many guys who have been coaches, like NFL coaches? Is it just too much of that that's causing some of those disconnects within the staff and how things are flowing?
I just gotta do, I'm playing devil's advocate because we don't know the answer, right? We're just trying to figure out some things. By the way, that's such a stupid
Right.
excuse for the Terrace Marshall Jr. You know how large the daggone staff for the Carolina Panthers are? They got a massive stats. They got a sports analytics. They got regional recruits or scouts. They got national scouts. They got so many people to help run this operation. I'm pretty sure that within one of those people, they could say, "Hey,
Somebody said
chalkboard guy."
something.
Yeah, they got guys that hold a daggone screen over the guys sitting on the bench so they get shade. Okay, they have the resources to know, and I feel like he just thought that he did. I don't want to put him in. There's no way that he got to the end of the game and was like, "Oh, I didn't put Terrace Marshall Jr. in." He knew it. He just
He
felt
just
like he
didn't want to
shouldn't
say
be.
it.
Yeah. So I feel like perhaps Frank is the problem. But let me play this clip because we're getting close to time and I want to try to get through some more. Devil's advocate, right? Just trying to find the answer to the problem. Answer is, and that problem being this coaching staff and the decision that they're making. Let me play something, and I want you guys to see if you know where I'm going with this. I feel like my man Andre will pick up on it. So let me get a chance to get this clip up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Talk to him every week, multiple times. Usually talk either Monday or Tuesday after a game, and he's super competitive. He wants to bring a winner to Carolina.
So I'm gonna pause this for a quick second because I didn't play the full clip. He's talking about David Tepper. So I'm gonna finish playing this clip, but right now, Coach Frank Wright is talking about his communication with owner David Tepper.
He's, um, wants it now. Wants it now, and pushes me and pushes us to that end. He wants to do whatever it takes and turn over every stone, churn it as much as he has to produce winning football. So I appreciate those conversations. They're always very challenging. He's a super competitive person, and he's not going to sit idly by.
All right, so two things, super quick. I'm gonna throw it to my man Andre. You guys are having fun with my. See, I open up to you because we're family. I share with you behind the scenes about my pictures, my dress, my family. We think I'm gonna have a TO moment here. You guys keep talking about me these chicken tenders. Okay, I don't think you understand how hungry that you get when you're covering a team. It's so hard to eat. My wife
Oh,
keeps
it's
telling me,
legit.
look, I left my hotel room at I think 9:30, which was honestly too late. I gotta leave later than that. I should have left like 8:30 in the morning. Yes, to go to a 1 o'clock game, to do a show that starts at 11, because you have
Right.
to. But anyway, so what happens is I hadn't eaten all day, and it's like game time. It's 1 o'clock. At that point, I know that's probably going to be my only meal of the day, because at halftime, I didn't know this was going to happen, but it's always like, who knows what? I didn't get any food at halftime. I went to talk to my wife at the half, come back, go get the food. The guy's like, oh, yeah, sorry, we put it up. Why are you putting up food if it's still here But anyway, I said I was going to be quick. I love you guys, so I'll continue on. I think the one other comment that I was going to make was I need to do this before we forget because we're running short on time. We can only go like a minute or two over because my wife is pregnant and she's going to absolutely kill me if I stay on here too long. So, look at this. Hill Joe just became a member.
Hey.
We appreciate it
Woohoo!
very much. Independent media, 100% supported by you guys. Every time I travel somewhere, every time our photographer travels somewhere, it comes out of that money that we get from you guys. We don't have, the car dealership writing us this nice $10,000 check. So anytime that you guys could do so much appreciated. Zip in my mouth, Andre, Power Hour. Well, Power 5 minutes, go.
Wow. It's already been an hour. That just shows you how jam-packed these shows get, right? But I want to touch on that video again real quick. With
where I was going with that is David
yeah.
Tepper the one that's actually doing this? Because he went on to say his engagement means he has input. I just want to give that context.
Yeah, I mean, he even said it too, like Coach Reich, there are owners out there who are hands off and there are owners who are deeply involved. And Dave Tepper is deeply involved with, I guess, the day-to-day operations with the team, whatever you want to call it. And however you want to put it, it does rub you the wrong way because you want your guys who you have put in those positions to do their jobs. You want to empower them to do their jobs. And this seems to be a week-to-week thing where they have these deep conversations and they have these talks, if you will, about the state of the team and where things are headed. I do like that he is involved, but I also feel like you have to walk a fine line between showing that you care, for one, being involved, and letting the guys do their jobs. Obviously, with an 0-5 start, you need to have that conversation like he was talking about where, hey, like, what do we need to do? Are there moves that we need to make? What do I need to do to help you guys get to that point to where there can be more success with the team? But ultimately speaking, when you talk about Tepper and the record that he has had here since being in Carolina, he has not had a winning season. He has had to change his ways because he had to come to the realization that not everything happens instantaneously, which is part of the reason why this team is where they are right now at this juncture in time, because you make all the moves you can for instant success. And I keep saying this phrase, do not leverage your future for instantaneous success. And I think that's something that's been biting the Panthers in the rear end, and it will continue to do so if he keeps advocating for the team to make moves at this point in the season to fulfill weaknesses that they should address in the offseason.
All right, I got one video that I'm not sure if I played yet or not, so if I did, I'm just going to cut it. We're really short on time. We're actually out of time, but let me see if I played this one yet.
The thing that was most frustrating is the 6 pre-snap penalties, right? So that's what we're saying. Those things have to stop. Too many positive things, but these things that are pulling us back are really hurting us.
So super quick, was that your most frustrating thing yesterday? What everybody out there watching, leave a comment. For you, was the most frustrating thing the 6 pre-snap penalties? It wasn't for me. Andre, what was the most frustrating thing for you yesterday?
The inability for the defense to stop the Lions. I think they toyed with us yesterday, and they knew that, and they had complete control of the game. That was, to me, what was the most frustrating thing.
Seriously, leave a comment. I'm going to apologize. We got to cut it short because we're actually over our time, and Mrs. Jenkins is going to have my baby girl any minute now. So I got to go give her a break.
Got to keep her happy.
Yes,
we have to keep her happy.
She was supportive of me being in Detroit. It is, hey, you know what's tough, right? When you're going for the weekend in Detroit and your wife's home with the kids, and it's like you get killed. It's like, no, we didn't watch the game too much. We kind of went out to the park. But anyway, let me get to this because I'm talking too much when I have to go because I love doing this, but I got to go. Here's something I got to do. Absolutely. Here we go. Michelle Yvette
Woo!
just became a member. So we got 2 new
That's what we like to
members
see.
tonight. I appreciate it very much. I can assure you there's not going to be anybody that's in media that will work harder for you than Andre and I to continue to keep you informed, to interact with you. Whether it's a simple question or a complex question, we want to be your resource. Thank you so much, especially in the 0-5 season, that you thought enough for our channel and our show to join and contribute to us. That means a lot. Appreciate it very much. Andre, I'm going to let you wrap us up.
All right, everybody. So
We got some new sound effects.
I promise, sound effects guy. I'll be quick this go around. But hey, we're 0-5. Things aren't looking too bright. Hey, that's just where we are right now. We have a week to prepare for Miami. So we're going to have you guys covered throughout the week with practice resuming on Wednesday. And we'll keep all you guys updated for everything's Panthers related throughout the week. So stay tuned to the Charlotte Vibe for all of our coverage as we get ready for Miami. And then it's the bye week, everybody, after that. I think everybody's looking forward to that in that locker room as much as they don't want to admit it. But regardless of the fact that everybody who tuned in today and who has been really tearing it up over these past couple of weeks, we appreciate the love here. We appreciate the support. So for everybody here for Charlotte Vibe, on the behalf of Chris Jenkins, I am Andre Cassidy. Everybody, have a good night.
Hey, I'm going to say goodbye on 2 things. We're only at 8:03, so she's not going to put me in a headlock too long. I have to show this comment
Oh,
for
I got to
you.
hear this. I got to hear this.
The most frustrating for me was that play call of a screen pass to Ian Thomas. Andre
Facts.
actually loves that. And then
Thank you for saying that. Stone hands, as somebody called him on Twitter.
And then last but not least, Homer Simpson as our play caller would do better.
Oh, man. I mean, we'll take it. We'll take it at this point. Anything, right?
See you guys.
See everybody.